Hey, LFFL Primetime is back for episode number 4. Today, we take a focus on the LFFL 2 because the draft is kicking off right now for the 17th season of play. Everything you need to know in just 5 minutes about the LFFL 2. First off, we're going to talk about the 2019 season. We're going to talk about to refresh your memory on some of these rules. We will absolutely have to have some special COVID considerations this year. We're going to talk about how to crown a champion in the event we do have an issue. And we're going to talk about the 2020 draft a little bit. So let's start with last year. Mr. Bill Berardi may not be able to get to a Super Bowl, but he can win these leagues without playoffs. His request in my survey was to get rid of the playoffs. We're not going to do that, Bill. Just try and keep winning this one. He was 11-6 last year, winning a thrilling 49-46 Week 17 game to jump ahead of a massive crowd at 10-7. It was his second keeper win in 4 years. He was a champion back in 2016 as well. And we had a thrilling final week. We literally had 5 teams still in the running to win, which is really cool. And Bill, congratulations for coming out on top for that one. Now, let's talk about our rules here. Remember, the only new rule I'm putting in any league this year is the waiver rule. Waivers will run overnight on Wednesday into Thursday instead of when they did last year, which was a day earlier. So it's a day later, give you more time to get in there. Starting lineups remain exactly the same. Quarterback, 2 running backs, a running back receiver, 2 receivers, a receiver tight end, a tight end, a flex, and a defense. Scoring system remains the same since 2009. Points will keep being low, but this league is really fun because of how few points are scored. Your keeper rules are going to remain the same. You have to declare 2 keepers from each bracket before the season starts. Remember, the brackets are rounds 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12, 13 through 16. We did come up with a rule a few years ago. You can move a player forward for keeper purposes. I currently have Odell Beckham's a 10th round pick. Let's say there's 2 guys in that bracket I want to keep. I can say I'll take Odell Beckham 8th next year to move to a different bracket. We've had some confusion on this rule. If you're confused, please reach out and I can help you get to where you need to be, okay? Now, COVID considerations. There was definitely support for a COVID rule. So what we're going to do is this. First, we're going to add 2 additional IR spots to help you cover. I believe there were 2 last year. I was going to put it up to at least 4 this year. Active rosters will remain the same. Greg has long been not a fan of bigger rosters. So we're going to keep the rosters the same, but we'll add more IR to help you support. Now, the real big thing here is late scratches. I want to make sure that we can address late scratches. Simple if you have a Thursday night player. It's easy. We'll just fix our lineup. So the problem will be when the scratch comes at a time later in the day or half our players have played or whatever. So I put 4 options on here for you to place late scratches. First choice, just pick up your phone and replace it there yourself. Second, you can send me backup plans via email before or text before a game begins, i.e., I know I've got a player playing at 1 o'clock and my quarterback doesn't play till Monday Night Football. You can reach out to me before that 1 o'clock game and say, hey, I want Carson Wentz to be my backup plan if Josh Allen gets scratched on Monday night. That'll work. You can let me know before the game. You say you hear about a scratch for the 4 o'clock games and you want to replace the guy that's playing 8 o'clock. Tell me. Let me know. Say that's the replacement I want. If I haven't heard from you before the games start in general, what I will do is this. I will just plug in the highest projected player at that position. That way, if you get a scratch on Monday Night Football and you have no options, we can just retroactively go back and say, well, you would have started this guy on Thursday night had you known that was going to happen on Monday night. Does that make sense to everybody? So if there's confusions, we'll deal with it. But look, I think what we've seen actually is sports that have started has actually been very positive and encouraging. So hopefully Verdon will go. Now, determining a champion. If we cannot get to week 17, we're going to have some different options. If it doesn't go 8 weeks, no champion. If we get to between 8 and 16 weeks, I will basically rank you 10 through 1, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, in both record and points. The champion will be the team with the most combined points between those 2 things. That way, we're not just rewarding a great record or great point scored. You really have to be doing both, okay? Draft order. Draft is starting right now. Draft order: Sean, Merrills, Phil, Miles, Greg, Eric, Andy, Todd. I'm sorry, I read it all wrong. Andy, Greg, Eric, Todd, myself, and Bill. Remember, round 2 doesn't snake, round 3 does. So, can Bill do it? We've only had 1 back-to-back champ in 17 years of this league, and it was Phil in 2010, 2011. Can Bill be the second? We're going to find out soon. Sean, you're officially on the clock.